Alright, what's going on YouTube? My name is Jaker Laprius, and this is the long-awaited Dominus Designs episode. I spent a lot of time trying to come up with these designs. I'm doing it a little bit different to how I did the Octane video, and I came up with the designs prior to making this, to recording, and I think they came out pretty well, but we'll have to see what you guys think. I have 4 for you today. And I want to show them off in order of epicness. So the best is going to be at the end of the video, so just stay tuned for that. But yeah, let's just get right into it. So, first car is this. It's kind of, a fun design. If you're like a lower rank, no one in like a higher rank, like probably like diamond and above would use this. But I mean, if you can, you want to. I just wanted to try to use this plain Zomba wheels because they're very cheap, and there's not really many designs out there that go well with them. But yeah, and the propeller hat fit the colors nicely. And so let's get into the customization part of it. So, as I said before, you're gonna want to go for the normal Zombas, on both sides, by the way. There's the orange side, I forgot to show that off. So, you're going to want normal Zombas. You're obviously going to want the Dominus, because that's the card that this video is on. You're going to want, for the decal, Lime MDGA for both sides. It's pretty cheap. You can get it for, like, I have no idea how many credits. A cheap amount. Probably less than $1 real money. It's very cheap. No painted no painted Dominus for this preset. There will be in the 2 later presets at the end. But for this one, nope. We're just keeping this one kind of budget. Obviously for the topper, you're going to go for the propeller head for both sides. It doesn't fit as well on the orange side, but I just couldn't really make it work. So if you find a topper that works better, or if say you just want no topper for the orange side, then be my guest. But yeah, I just thought I'd keep it on for there. So for the colors, for the blue side, you're gonna want to go the first column from the left and all the way at the bottom row for primary. And you're going to want glossy block on that. Then, for secondary, you're going to want the column all the way on the right and 2 rows down. And straight line for the paint finish. For the orange team, you're going to want the second column from the right for primary. You're going to want the second column from the right and 2 rows down. And glossy block as the paint finish. Then for the accent, 2 columns from the left and the top row, and put straight line on that again. And that is what you guys have seen so far. So let's get into the boost. For boost, I just use the fiber optic 2 lime. It's I think it was a rock pass boost, but I chose lime just because it matches the MDGA, and one of the primary colors of the Zombas is the lime. And I felt like it helped to tie in the propeller hat with the orange car. And then the same one on blue. And then for trail, I am using pink Tachyon 3. Pink Tachyon 3. I feel like it works better with the pink colors, but it does go well with this, I think, a little bit. I couldn't quite match this kind of salmon color that I used for the secondary in the trail, so I just went ahead and used pink Tachyon. But if you find one that works better, then go for that one. But that's the first preset. Obviously, use whatever goal explosion you want, use whatever sound you want, throw an antenna on there if you want to, but I didn't do that for my designs. So let's move on to the next one. So this one is kind of like more clean. Like, this is kind of a design that you might see like higher ranked players using. I'm using the Rocket League decal, the RLCS decal. I think it looks pretty good. You'll notice I'm using straight line again. I really love straight line. I think it's one of the better paint finishes, along with like pearlescent matte, glossy block. I love anodized. All of those are pretty good. But yeah, let's get into it. This one's gonna be a little bit more expensive because for the wheels you're using black chalk rims for both sides. They are only very rare wheels, but there a lot of people like the black chalk rims. Just because they look really clean, and you can pretty much pair them with anything, any unpainted car they go well with. So yeah, and then I think that's on both sides, right? Yeah. Oh, here's the orange car. I almost forgot to show you guys. So very clean, not too much going on, I would say. So for decal, you're gonna want RLCS Cobalt. You could go just the normal RLCS decal for orange side, but I kind of liked that pop of blue on the sides there. I kind of think it added to it. If you want, you can just go for the normal RLCS decal. You could even go for the normal RLCS decal on blue, but you won't get that pop that you do on the hood and on the roof of the car, on the sides and the balls and whatever. But yeah, that's the decal. Now for paint finishes and colors. For primary for blue, you're going to want the fourth column from the right and the top row. That's your primary. You're going to want to put pearlescent matte on there. When I was first making this car, I didn't have pearlescent matte on the primary, and I just left it as matte. And it really doesn't look as good. Like, if you throw matte on, I mean, it looks clean, but I just think having that kind of like subtle black glow around the car like just gives it so much more like character and atmosphere. I think it works better. But then you're just gonna go black for secondary and throw a straight line on there. And I like straight line. I like using straight line with painted decals and black secondary because you can't really see the straight line kind of texture on the normal painted part of it, so like right here, but you can where the decal is painted, and I think it looks pretty cool. And then for orange side, you're going to want to go the last column on the right and 3 rows down. That's going to be your primary. Throw pearlescent matte on there again, or just regular matte if you don't want that black glow. It's up to you. And then the secondary is going to be black and throw anodized on it. I would have liked to be able to kind of separate the painted part of the decal with just the black part of it. I think if the black was like a matte and then the cobalt part of it was anodized, I think that would look a lot better, but you can't separate the paint finishes like that. And now let's get on to the boost. I'm just using my titanium white comet. It's my favorite boost that I have in my inventory. The next two presets will be using Backus mod, so I spent some time looking through boosts for that, but this was just supposed to be like a really clean preset that higher level players would use, and I use this boost all the time. It's my favorite. I love it. I actually got really lucky trading up to it. Didn't have to buy it, and it's the exact one that I wanted. And same thing on this side. I just think it looks really, really clean. Like always, like if I can never find a boost that works, I always default back to this boost. Yeah. So no topper, no antenna. Nope. And then for trail, you're gonna want Tachyon 3 normal for blue side, and then I think okay, yeah, Tachyon 3 normal for both sides. I do have black, but I'm not a huge fan of the Tachyon black, but yeah, I just think the normal goes pretty well. I don't actually have the cobalt one, and I tried using the cobalt one through Backus mod, but I just feel like the normal Tachyon 3 just, it's going to be a little bit cheaper, not by much because they're all pretty cheap, but it's going to be a little bit cheaper, and yeah, I just think it looks better with, especially with the blue side, how the cobalt part of the decal is kind of lighter colored than the primary color of the car. So, and you get both of those colors in the boost. A little bit of white, or not in the boost, the trail. Forgot the word there for a second, but yeah, that is it for this preset. Use whatever goal explosion you want, whatever sound you want, whatever, if you can customize this in your own way. But yeah, that's preset number 2. And I think, oh, I'm not using package mod for this one? I thought I was. Okay. So, this is getting more into the, like, more expensive regions. This one isn't really that expensive, but the next, the last preset is going to be expensive that you see after this one. So, this is the blue side. It's pretty clean. You've got the white chaperones. You've got the white in the decal that matches it, and that kind of like more intense blue. That's kind of like over the softer primary. I really like it. And orange. This orange side might be my favorite side, like my favorite looking one out of all of them that I made. But the next preset as a whole is my favorite preset put together for both sides that I put together. So here's the orange one. I just love it so much. Like, and I came across this completely like by accident. Just the way that this this decal worked. I was originally using a different decal, I don't remember. But I was working on the orange side first. I knew I wanted to try something with my pink chakrams that I had in my inventory. And I was just flipping through my decals, and this just fit perfectly. And it completely by accident, but I just think it works so well. So let's get into how you customize this car. So you're going to want Dominus for decal. On blue side, you want titanium white luster edge. That's going to be a little more expensive than normal, but should be pretty cheap. I think it was a Rocket Pass decal, so there's a lot of them out there. And then for orange, you're just going to want normal luster edge. I was originally going to use pink for this, but the normal just looks so much better. If I hover over the pink right here, it kind of just makes that where the primary color separates, it just like breaks it up too much and makes it too light, and I'm not a fan of it. I like being able to like kind of like, you know, have the illusion of seeing like in through the car, and like having that kind of car not be there and kind of it being dark. I think it looks really cool. And for wheels, for why is that on? Damn it, it's not. There we go. Okay. It's weird how that stayed hovered. So for orange, we're gonna want to go for pink chakrams. There's gonna be a little pricier than normal, but shouldn't be bad at all. Probably about, if I were to guess, like $1, if that. I should have looked up the prices of all these items before recording this, but I didn't. So I'm just kind of like throwing numbers out there, but they're pretty. I'd say they're pretty accurate. And then for blue side, this is the most expensive part of this build. You're going to want the titanium white chakrams. These are going to be expensive, or more expensive. They are just very rare wheels, but like there's something about the chakrams that like I think the chakrams should be an import, and I think a lot of players agree with me. They just look so good. They're so clean. But yeah, those are the wheels. And now let's hop into the colors. So for blue, primary, you're going to go the fourth column from the left and the top row. And there's no paint finishes because we're using luster edge. And then the accent is going to be the fifth column from the left and the fourth row down. Then for orange, I almost did randomized preset, that would have been bad. You're going to want top right for primary color. You're going to want the second column from the left and the third row down for the secondary. And I just think it's so good. I love this card. But I personally don't use Dominus, so if unfortunately, I never use it, but if I did play Dominus, or maybe sometime in the future that I will play Dominus, who knows? This is definitely a design that I would come back to. I love this. For boosts, I'm using, no, not that. I'm using Pink Fusion for orange side. I'm actually not quite sure how expensive Fusion is. I think it's going to be more expensive than your average boost, just because it's, I'm not sure how many are out there. I don't think there are that many, and it's been around for a while, so I think it might cost a little more than like the normal boost. But that's for blue. I think it fits really well. Or for orange, excuse me. And then for blue, just using your normal ion. I wanted to keep this one pretty cheap, and then, or cheap as possible, with the wheels. And I think the ion just looks really, really clean with it. It's supposed to be a clean preset, just like the last one. And let's get into the trail, which is going to be Tachyon 3 normal, blue side again. You could use titanium white, you could use cobalt. I honestly, I just like the kind of gradient that it gives you. Like, you've got the darker cobalt blue in the trail, but you've also got kind of like a lighter blue and almost a white. And I just think it looks looks really good with the car, even though the car doesn't have that light blue. I actually prefer it over cobalt and titanium white. So that's what I'm using for blue, and then for orange, I had to use the pink Discotex because it just looks very good. Pink Discotex. There you go. So that's that car. Now for this next one, I'm gonna have to throw Backasmod on, and it might glitch out a bit. It hasn't been working with me nicely today, so let's see. Let me hit. Oh, first of all, I didn't rename this preset. Let me just give that name real quick. What did I call it? Dom Designs. Okay. Dom Designs 4. Okay, so let me turn Backasmod on. If you don't have Backasmod, you can download it if you're on PC. Unfortunately, you cannot on console, but this car is still, you are able to accomplish this preset on console and without Backasmod. I mean, there, like in Backasmod, you can there's like a lot more colors that you can choose from your your normal preset colors, and there's, you can paint some things that can't be painted with Backasmod. It's really cool, but I made sure that you can do all of these designs without Backasmod. So let me enable that. Okay, it worked, at least for the red side, which is good. Here is the red side, and I just think this looks amazing. So I just think this is such a clean decal, and I love the kind of pearlescent effect that you get if you like pan over the car. Like, it's all black, but then if you go down towards either side and front and the back, it's kind of got that red gradient over it, red to black gradient. So this one is the most expensive, and I'll tell you why. So, because I use Backasmod, I'm gonna have to read it off of there. So unfortunately, the colors I'll be able to read off in the actual customized screen. So this is for orange side. Let me show you blue side real quick. Yeah, so this is what was happening earlier. There we go. There's the blue side. Looks pretty clean. So this one, kind of like with the first episode with the Octane, I went for sort of like an icy vibe for this one, and then I wanted sort of like a fiery vibe for like kind of like a more intense look for the orange side. So for orange side, you're going to want a Crimson Dominus. It's going to be expensive, but it's worth it, trust me. Then you're going to use Stipplegate, the black market decal, for the decal on orange. you're going to use Crimson Inverted Special Edition Pyros wheels, and you're going to use Crimson Magic Missile Boost. So that's the stuff that I had with Bacchus mod, and this is what the Magic Missile looks like. I think it looks very clean. Don't have too many colors going on. It's a very straight boost. Like, there's not really much, like, it's not big, it's not going to be in your face while you're playing. And it matches the color really well, I think. So that's the boost for orange. And now, let me show you the trail, actually. And the colors. I forgot about that. You're going to want to use Crimson Tachyon 3 for the trail. I managed to have one in my inventory. I just love the Tachyon 3 boost. It's a what was I going to say? Rocket Pass. I was about to say Crimson Boost. I have no idea what my brain's saying right now, but it's a Rocket Pass trail, so shouldn't have too tough of a time finding this. But yeah, this and probably Laser Wave 3 are my favorite trails. They're both Rocket Pass trails. But let's get into colors. For orange, you're going to want the third column from the left and all the way at the bottom for primary. And then you're going to want black for your secondary. You don't have to worry about your paint finishes. The only reason that is popping up there is because I'm using Bacchus mod for the decal. So you can't use paint finishes for black markets. So don't worry about those. Now let's get into the blue side. And this, go back in. There we go. So you're going to use a Cobalt Dominus for the blue side. You're going to want Chameleon, the black market decal, as your decal. You're going to want Cobalt Dracos, and you're going to want Cold Fusion for your boost. Which it's kind of like more icy boost, and I think it works really well with this preset. It does have like a little bit of sky blue in there, but you shouldn't notice that too much when you're like playing with this boost, and it should match the car very well. I tested in free play. It works great, at least with my video settings. But yeah, then for the trail, we have Tachyon 3 Painted Cobalt. This is the Cobalt one. The normal one does not look as good with this preset, even though I said I preferred it for the other presets. This one does not work. You want the Cobalt one. Well, it will work, just not as well. Let me show you. That is spelled. Blue. There we go. There's normal. And there's Cobalt. I just think the Cobalt works so much better. It's got the darker primary in there. And then for colors, for blue, you're going to want to go the fifth column from the left and all the way at the bottom for your primary. And you're going to want to go the sixth column from the left and all the way at the top for your secondary. And that will give you this car. And I think it looks amazing. This preset is going to cost you a lot. You've got 2 mystery decals. You've got 2 different pairs of painted Dracos. You've got 2 different painted Dominuses. You've got 2 different boosts. There's a lot that you're going to have to spend for this preset. But, you don't have to, get the whole preset, obviously. You could just, if you like the blue side better, you could buy the Chameleon, buy the Cobalt Dracos, blue Cobalt Dominus, and just try to make a orange preset off that, or vice versa with the red side, orange side. But yeah, I think I covered everything for each side for this. I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think I did. So, okay, now it's not showing the painted Dominus. Whatever. Oh, okay, there we go. Bacchus mod is no. So, that's going to do it for this episode. It's much shorter than the first one, which is what I was aiming for, and why I did the designs off screen. But yeah, I put a lot of work into these designs, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. And I hope that whoever's watching this video, and whoever might want these, to take a look at these cars, and try them out for themselves, I hope you guys enjoy them. But yeah, until then, make sure if you enjoyed the video to like, comment, and subscribe if you really liked it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.